Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Today let's talk about a little bit more on the EGAL Act, what happened in the last 2 weeks and what can we expect going forward. We'll also talk about some of the announcements that USCIS has made on its Twitter and some important tips. And I'll give you a reminder about my giveaway and also what can we expect from the January 2022 Visa Bulletin. So there is a lot of packed content, guys. Watch this video until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration and lifestyle related videos for US and Canada. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. And for your specific immigration needs, before you take any action, you should hire a competent immigration lawyer. Now my giveaway is still going on, so do like and subscribe to this channel and post a comment. The giveaway winner will be announced on my next video, which will be along with the Visa Bulletin, the January 2023 Visa Bulletin. So if you haven't already entered, here's your last chance to enter the giveaway by liking, subscribing and commenting on this video. Now the last couple of weeks have been all about EGAL Act in this community. We were told that the EGAL Act would come on the floor on multiple occasions since last 2 weeks. Every day they would bring it on the agenda, but only to be dropped before the end of the day. It got punted out days after days. Yesterday was supposed to be the last working day of the Congress, this session in Congress. They may work towards the end of the year after the Christmas, but who knows. And if you ask me about the EGAL Act, I don't think it has any chance of coming back on the floor because they did not have the confidence that they will get enough votes for it to pass. At least that's the explanation we got. Now in the meantime, there was a lot of discussion on the Twitter, and if you aren't following me on Twitter yet, please do so. My Twitter handle is in the description and here on the screen. But there was a lot of discussion around every time when the bill got pulled out of the floor. Now many people suggested calling Nancy Pelosi, giving out her phone number and also emailing the congressman. Now let me tell you my thoughts on emails and phone calls. I think it's a very simple and straightforward method of contacting your senators and representatives. But when there is a bill to be brought to the floor, nobody is looking at your emails. Nobody is looking at your voicemails. So in my opinion, if there is a flood of voicemails, if there are 10,000 voicemails on any senator's phone, nobody is going to even look at them. I don't know, even in terms of technology, if there is a capacity to hold like 5,000 or 10,000 voicemails on a phone number, at least not that I'm aware of. So how do you think that it is possible? People have been posting phone numbers of Nancy Pelosi and everybody else for the community to call them and ask them about the EGAL Act to be brought to the floor. I don't think that is the right approach in my opinion. It is a waste of people's time. Emails may have a little bit of a luck. Maybe there are people sitting around and watching this 5,000, 10,000 emails in a senator's or congressman's inbox, but I doubt it. Ask yourself, if you have an office of 5 to 10 people, are they going to really look at every email? In my opinion, the right way of doing the advocacy is to go through super PACs or go through some proper lobbying. Lobbying in the sense you have a group created, you go and meet the senators, you have a one-on-one discussion with them, tell them their stories in real time, and even help them in their campaign, help them in their cause, and bring this issue forward as a part of their cause, as a part of their agenda, so that's when that will get some kind of attraction. There are a lot of people who kept asking me, why don't I suggest people to write emails and do phone calls to the senators and representatives? Let me tell you, I have 22 years of experience in this country, and I don't think emails and phone calls to senators and congressmen help in bringing a bill to the floor. Those things help for your personal situations, for your personal cases. If you want to kind of get some status on your case for your 485 application or for your EAD, that might help. And even then, it doesn't go to the senator. They have a separate team just making contact with the USCIS and giving you that status information. Now coming back to this point, whether by phone calls or emails you can persuade a candidate or a representative to bring a bill to the floor, you are fooling yourselves. To make any meaningful difference, it has to be a meaningful advocacy or a proper lobbying effort. That's what is going to work. Now the next topic, we haven't seen the visa bulletin yet for January 2023. Usually I would have expected to see this visa bulletin by at least 16th of this month, but I'm pretty sure it will come next week. I will be away for a couple of days, but when I come back, I'll make a video on reviewing the visa bulletin for January 2023, and that's when I will also be announcing my giveaway winner. So stay tuned to that. Now what do we expect from January 2022 visa bulletin? More of the same. You probably know as much as I know. They have already considered all the spillovers, whatever spillovers are coming from the family based category to employment based category. Those numbers have already been taken into account. They already know what is the amount of usage in the rest of the world ROW category. So there is not going to be much spillover from rest of the world into the backlog countries. So that is second. One thing what we are going to see, and that was mentioned in the last visa bulletin, is EB1 may see some retrogression. Now people have asked me how much of retrogression can we see in EB1. My speculation is it will be by a month or two, not too much. Maybe it will go back to October of 2022 or say September of 2022. I'm not expecting like a year of retrogression in EB1. It will be slight retrogression just so that the dates are not current, just to stop the flood of demand that is coming through EB1. So now EB1 has really picked up, and that's why we are also not going to see spillovers from EB1 to EB2. So when EB1 retrogress, what it really means is there is not going to be any spillover from EB1 to EB2 in the sense that there won't be any unused visa numbers that usually get spilled over from EB1 to EB2. So that probably will not happen. So it is even more bad news for EB2. So in the January 2023 visa bulletin, here's what I think. EB1 will retrogress by a month or two, so it will no longer remain current. And this is I'm saying based on their comment in the last visa bulletin, in the December 2022 visa bulletin. EB2 will hardly move, maybe by a few days or up to a week or so. EB3 may move by a couple of weeks. So that's what my guess is, and I'll leave it at that. Now I also wanted to make a clarification on the layoff situation. I specified 3 different scenarios in my last video. People who are on pending I-485 status and who may not have applied for green card, who may have applied for a green card and have approved I-140. And then the third scenario was people who were pending adjustment of status. Now I wanted to clarify one more thing. If you get laid off while you have a pending adjustment of status, you still need to find another job. If you are still using your H1, you need to find that job within 60 days or you will lose your H1. Now from the status perspective, you will be okay. You can still remain in the country because you are on pending adjustment of status. That gives you a status until you get your green card. Now in this situation, what I wanted to tell you was, because you lost your job, it is not as if you can remain without a job until you get your green card, because remember, you are in the employment based green card situation, so you need to have that valid bona fide offer as per your I-140 approval at the time of green card approval. If you don't have that valid offer letter with you at the time of your green card approval, there might be a problem approving your case. So as much as I would like to say that you are okay in terms of status, you should try to get your next job which is in the same category as your approved I-140 as soon as possible, even if you are an I-485 stage. So that is something that I wanted to clarify. Now now let's look at some of the reminders that USCIS has sent. The first one is the Freedom of Information Act. You could request your case status or for past case status or things that are pertaining to your immigration situation in the United States through filing a request through FOIA, which is Freedom of Information Act. So USCIS has to give that information to you. Now in the past they used to allow people to submit this by fax and by phone calls and emails and things like that, but now they have established a online form submittal or request submittal or online intake mechanism. That is what is preferred, or that is the only way you can now request through Freedom of Information Act. So I just wanted to remind that. Another reminder that USCIS has given is there is a new version of I-485 application which is 12/23/2022. That is the date. So make sure if you are applying for your I-485 for the first time, you use the latest version, and that should be available on the USCIS website. Now coming back to Eagle Act, many people are asking, is there still a chance in this lame duck session for any of these immigration proposal to pass? My confidence now is gone lower and lower. 2 weeks back, if you had asked me the question and I made certain video about it, I was very optimistic because the bill was supposed to come on the floor, but in the last 2 days we heard that that is not going to happen. So the Eagle Act is off the agenda. I have no hopes of that happening this year. Now, what are the other possible scenarios? Another hope that we lost is NDAA Act. It was supposed to include the documented dreamer. Even that did not happen. Now, what else could happen within this omnibus bill? If they can slip in any kind of immigration proposals, that is quite possible, like Registry Date Change Act. That is also important one. If that happens, that might help. But realistically, I don't have any hopes of any kind of immigration proposals being passed in this lame duck session. Sorry for the bearer of bad news. Now, a lot of people get excited about whenever a new representative comes up with a new proposal for immigration revamp. So there is a latest one, new proposal by Representative Marina Salazar. And a lot of people got excited about it. Yeah, if you read at the proposal, it has laundry list of things, everything that you would want to in an immigration reform, such as per country cap removal, recapture of unused visa numbers, spouses and children removed from the employment visa numbers. A lot of those things are present in that proposal, but it's just a proposal. So my point is, don't get excited. Every other representative in the Congress comes up with their own proposal. Really, it only means anything if it is brought to the House floor to vote and if it gets approved. So at least for this lame duck session, my hopes of anything happening in terms of immigration in the Congress is very low. But hey, we have a giveaway coming. Sorry for the bearer of bad news, but it is a Christmas season, it is a holiday season. Don't think about these visa issues, at least for a couple of days, couple of weeks. Just enjoy with your family, leave everything aside. As long as you have a job, you are in status, just forget about the visa situation for at least for a few days. We'll worry about it again in the next year. We have all the time in the world to talk about the green card situation come January. Now, back in November, I shared some investment strategies to protect your savings. And while stocks and index funds have traditionally relied upon investments, considering the current state of the economy and equities, it might be a good idea to consider options outside of the stock market. There are still alternatives assets out there. Real estate, commodities that have low correlation to traditional markets. Now, traditionally, gold and oil were the leading commodities, but there are assets that also have quietly provided insulation during economic downturns. And not just stores of wealth, assets with growth potentials, like contemporary art. According to the Masterworks All Art Index, the last time inflation was near its current levels, art prices appreciated at an annual average of 17.5% per year. You might be wondering, why hasn't everyone flocked to this market? It's simple. Accessibility. I mean, who has 10 million to splurge on museum grade work of art, right? So thanks to today's sponsor, Masterworks. Investors all over the world can enter the market for a fraction of the cost. This isn't an NFT, it's not cryptocurrency, it's art from legendary names like Picasso, Banksy and Monet. In 7 out of their 10 exits, Masterworks has delivered net return over 17% to their investors. In fact, their last 3 fetches 17.8%, 21.5% and 33.1%. Nearly 600,000 people have signed up, but my subscribers can get priority access at the link in the description. So check out the link in the description for Masterworks and get the priority access through Wisdom Trends link. Now let's continue with our topic. So that's all really I wanted to say in this video. If you like the content of this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.